3 months ago, I was coaching my son's basketball team, and we were locked in a thriller. As the final seconds ticked down, we were leading by 1 point, 12-11. I thought we had the game in the bag. 6 seconds. Come on, we need this, I said as I began to pace the sidelines. 5 seconds. We got this. 4 seconds. Oh no, 3 seconds. Suddenly, the other team's best player laced across the court, got an open look at the basket, and shot a buzzer beater. Time froze. It looked like it was going in. Now, I can imagine what I looked like. A grown man, drenched in sweat from head to toe, screaming, "No!" hoping that a 10-year-old boy would miss a shot. Not my proudest moment. But as the shot went up, it rattled in and out. No good. Victory. As I ran on the floor to congratulate my players on a hard-earned win, I was in exultation. But I learned shortly thereafter I missed the most important part of the game. As we were walking off the court, the other team's coach stopped me and asked, "Is that your son?" I nodded. What he said next is a life-changing lesson that we can all live by. He turned to me and said, "I don't know if you noticed, but after our player missed the final shot, he fell to the floor crying. Your son was the first one to come over, extend his hand, and lift him up. He congratulated him on playing a great game. I wanted you to know you're raising him right." Raising him right. We hear that a lot in sports and in life, don't we? Play the game the right way. Do things right. What does that mean? What's right? I have 2 better questions to ask. How can I build myself mentally and emotionally to become the best version of myself? And how can my thoughts, words, and actions elevate others? There's a skill set that, when consistently applied, will help us to live an emotionally intelligent life and become the best version of ourselves to help and serve others. It's a skill set that is equal opportunity. All of us have access to it. It's called emotional intelligence. As originally defined by Dr. Peter Salovey and Dr. John Lee Mayer, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions. And it's the ability to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of other people. The best way to really understand emotional intelligence in action is through 2 bedrock pillars: self-awareness and empathy. Everything begins with you and leads to how you elevate yourself in order to elevate others. By first looking inward, we're better able to outwardly serve our communities. Self-awareness is really threefold. First, it's understanding the contents of your character. Second, it's recognizing and perceiving how others see us in our interactions. And third, it's defined by feedback that guides, corrects, and affirms us on our journeys. To truly develop and become more self-aware, we need to first define the content of your character, and that begins with establishing a game plan. That game plan is comprised of what you're passionate about, your core values, your strengths and skills that will maximize your impact, your purpose or your why for doing what you do, your mission, which is how you choose to define success for yourself. And it's the goals that you set, having smart goals that you aim to achieve that are ultimately the results that you desire to achieve. Self-awareness starts there and turns out into how you serve others in your community. And the best way to truly take the best of yourself out is to begin to empathize with others. So what is empathy? Empathy is how we recognize, perceive, or feel what someone else is experiencing from within their frame of reference. By choosing to really empathize with others is showing that we care and listening. That's how we begin to forge that connection and begin to build community. I come back to that word feel because that's so much of what empathy is all about. As Maya Angelou famously said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. If you focus first by looking inward and then choose to focus outward in terms of how you look to serve others, you'll lead with both self-awareness and empathy in terms of how you connect with other people. On the other side of fear, we choose what to take with us and what to leave behind. Never let fear hold you back from giving things a shot. Fear isn't your foe. Fear is just a misunderstood friend. When we begin to embrace our fears and our struggles, and we look at them first with self-awareness and empathy, we begin to build a community. You see, my self-aware, empathetic son wasn't always so emotionally intelligent. When he was first there to lift up that boy, he wasn't always that way about 2 years earlier. So when he was 8, he was playing in a competitive baseball league, seeking to find acceptance and belonging from others trying to compete. After a particularly tough game where he struck out a couple of different times, he really got down on himself. Normally more reserved and quiet, I could see that he wanted to express himself, and he was finding space for that on the drive home. He was fighting back tears in the back seat. He finally mustered up the courage and looked at me and said, "Dad, it's just that I get nervous sometimes when I'm standing up there and all those people are watching me and counting on me." Right then I got it. It had nothing to do with the technique of hitting a baseball. As his coach, I knew that he had put in the effort in practice. It had everything to do with the conversation taking place in between his ears. His inner dialogue, the "I'm not good enough" voice, when the truth is that he will always be good enough, and more than enough, for himself and for others. We should all aspire to be more than for someone else, more than a friend, more than someone's boss, teacher, or colleague, more than someone's neighbor or teammate. If we're there to support others, they will be there to support us, and that's truly how we begin to build a connection for life. All of us are seeking that same belonging. All of us are seeking acceptance in life. When we choose to first accept ourselves, we're better able to accept everyone around us and begin to build a better community. At the dawn of my entrepreneurial career, I was unsure of what lay ahead. Half the battle was simply overcoming the fear to act. I met up with a very successful businessman at a local deli for breakfast. Cream cheese bagels and coffee, chicken soup for a New Yorker's soul. I needed to find myself. I needed a game plan. As we sat down for breakfast, I could tell that I was eating with a confident man. He'd been retired for 13 years, but he looked young. He got right to the point. "Christopher, I'm not sure that I can help you," he said. "Been out of the game for a while. I'm sorry." "Oh well, at least I got a free breakfast out of it." I hesitated, and then a bolt of self-awareness came over me. I looked at him and said, "What is the best advice that you can give me?" I'll never forget what he said. His answer left me melting in my seat. He turned to me and said, "Christopher, it sounds like you have a lot of great ideas, but great ideas alone aren't enough. You must get specific. I recommend that you write out in very specific detail exactly what you're trying to achieve and how it will help others. I know it will work. It's exactly how I was able to launch, run, and sell a technology company for over $100 million. I wrote and spoke my very specific plan over my life, and it became my life's work. Now, Christopher, it's your turn." Years from now, I won't remember all the details from my son's epic 12-11 basketball game. And guys, between us, he only scored 1 point. Oops. Sorry, Roman, they might be recording this. But I'll always remember that he extended his hand to lift up that boy in his moment of adversity. I'll know in my heart that he would have extended his hand to congratulate that boy had he made the shot. And I'll always remember how that moment made me feel. It's brought us closer together as father and son. Your willingness to live an emotionally intelligent life and extend your hand to lift up others in your community will shape the future of your community. It's there that we'll know what doing it right truly means. It's where we live our best lives. And it's that place where we discover ourselves and become more than, so that we can lift others up and create a better future together.